Who are the people that are behind these heinous acts, and what could one say is the reason? What do they want?
Well, you see, at the beginning where we have the IPOP saying the agitation, they're agitating for the creation of Biafra, and their reason is that, oh, we are being marginalized. And then a lot of people kidding. If anybody has differences, with the center, the person becomes a supporter of IPOP. If you sort anything, at the federal level, and you fail to get it, you become a supporter of IPOP. Those in diaspora that went for greener pastures and they failed to, get such, they will become very bitter with the Nigerian society. And so the followers, kept, growing. And then the issue of herdsmen came up. And there were a couple of killings in Southeast, and the people were a bit helpless, and felt the governor were not protecting them. That you see, the governors were protecting them, but the governors, swore oath under the Constitution, and we're doing a lot of things that we're not going to be saying in public. But we did quite a lot to ensure that that there is peace between the herdsmen and our farmers. But that's not the way some people that were aggrieved wanted us to go. But that's the way we should go. If you recall what is happening elsewhere between the herdsmen and the farmers,
Let
you
me
see that the
just try
governors
to
of
stop him
Southeast.
here. Number one, he talked about couple of killing. There is a couple of killings in Biafra land. He talked about the couple of killing in Biafra land. While you are joining us, kindly invite others to join. Invite other peoples to join. Invite other people to join this gospel of freedom. This is a gospel of freedom. Invite others to join. We are back and we are live and we are direct. We are live and we are direct. It is 10 minutes on top of the hour, before the top of the hour, rather. Invite your friends, invite your family, invite your enemy to listen to this gospel of leadership, or gospel of freedom, rather. He spoke about the couple of killings. The reason why people are lamenting or complaining, there was couple of killings. Couple of killings, maybe 8 people died in the whole of Southeast, or 10 people, or maybe or maybe 3 people died in Biafra land. That is the reason why he called it couple of killing, because it never involved any of his own. It never involved any of his own. All his family members are living large and abroad, living a 5-star lifestyle in abroad. The ones that are in the zoo are moving around with escort. They are moving around with escort. They are not going to the farm. Obviously, that is the reason why he is calling it couple of killings were happening in the southeast. They will do everything they have to do to favor their political, selfish agenda and benefit. That is what they always do. Let us keep listening. It never concerned them. It never concerned them.
Really did well. So then came up the IPOB with ESN, which is the militant aspect of the IPOB. And then they started to issue orders of threats. If you do this, we will do this, and all kind of stuff. And so along the line, the whole exercise is being hijacked. Southeast no longer have kidnappers, cultists, everyone that does one criminality.
This action is action being done by the DSS, Nigeria DSS. This is their action, raising police station, making sure that they destabilize every security, so that when they bring down, so that they will request for their Fulani army of conquest, or so that when they bring down their Fulani army of conquest to the east, it will be justified according to the people who follow the lies being told by Nigeria. Couple of killings. Those lives does not matter. Couple of killings. You are very quick to make or to prescribe IPOB and ESN, but you never prescribed any bandit. You call them header farmer problem. Headers farmer problem. That is how they give you equity. That is how they bring fairness. That is how they tackle insecurity.
The other claims to be IPOB. And also, some politicians, from what we learned, also capitalized on that and began to also import killers from outside Southeast, to advance their political interests, like what we are seeing.
This is the only place where he is speaking a bit sense. This is where he is speaking, because it is all about partisan politics. That is exactly the reason why you find him confessing. It is all about partisan politics. This one is going to favor this one, is going to speak against this one, the other party, to make sure that they appear good to you. For you to believe that they will start confessing what they have been doing against you, and you will not pay attention. You would think it is all about politics. It is not just politics. It is all about exposing themselves to you. But because your mind is always busy chasing after what you are going to eat today, never ever thought of what you are going to eat tomorrow. That is the reason why you will never pay attention to understand these people's statements.
In Anambra State, from the accounts of yesterday, I don't have details. And so these are, the situations we found ourselves.
You would think he is
All right,
telling
Your
you the
Excellency,
truth.
you know,
He
there
is
are
just telling
those
the
who
truth just
are
to
of the
be
opinion.
in your favor. He is not saying those things in your favor. He is saying it for the partisan politicians' favor. That's what he is doing. But he is indeed exposing the evil things that they have teamed up and did together.
That the Southeast governors actually have to take a huge part of responsibility as to how this has festered, because they think when this was at what they described as the elementary stage, that the authorities there could have seen these loopholes before it then graduated to the directive to sit at home, the formation of certain security networks up until when politicians now started importing people to come into those areas and begin to carry out some of these things. So they thought what the governors are doing now, they should have done a long time ago.
But I don't know what the governors of Southeast are doing now that they didn't do before. You see, some uninformed elements, felt that the only way to solve the problem between us and herdsmen, was to ask them to leave Southeast. But that is very unnational, because our people also live in the north, they also live in the west. And so
your people also live in the west, live in the north. See, Dave Umahi cares about his people. You care about your people who live in the north, but you never cared about your people who live in your land. You cared about your people who live in the north. You never cared about people whom you are governing, because there is another governor that is representing people who live in the north. If you believe there is a one Nigeria here. So you, as a governor, never cared about the people who are dying in your land, and you are blaming it because there is people who live in the north. These terrorists are not the northerns. These terrorists were the machines your government, your partisan politicians brought in during the time of election to remove Goodluck Jonathan from the seat. Those are the same terrorists that their family members are trooping in for colonization agenda. Those are the same terrorists. Those are the people who have nothing to do, because the only thing they know how to do is to move animals from places to places, kill people, take over their land, and they will never even build any good structure in those lands that they are killing people, taking over. They will build a shack. When they kill you, they take over your land, they only build a shack in those places. Who are those people? These are animals that you were bringing into your land, and you are calling them that are your people living in the north. That are your people living in the north. That is the reason why you cannot tackle the security challenges that you are facing. And you will call yourself a leader. The chief security officer of the state. This is the excuse is given to you. Let us continue.
Had to mediate to ensure that we set up a kind of committees that involves these herdsmen and our farmers. And in many cases, we triumphed. But you must also know that most of these killer herdsmen came from outside. And we'll be shouting it at the national level, and we'll be shouting it at the state level. So there's nothing we are doing now that we didn't do. But remember that the governors, the attempts they made, to also checkmate some of these things, because of the psyche of our people, being brainwashed, I can use that, believing that someone is fighting for them. We didn't really have the support of the masses because they have been indoctrinated, they have been misinformed. But now the situation is changing because they are beginning to say, look, if you are fighting for us, why are you killing us? Even if you are not the one killing us, by your words, by your broadcast, you've made ways for us to be killed.
Did you see how they use political? Because this is the same political propaganda that they always create. This political propaganda is the only reason why they can never govern you well. You see, he was speaking as if he is speaking in general terms, because at the end of the day, he knows the truth. He knows the truth. He is speaking as if he is speaking for you in general terms. He now come and say, even if you are not the one killing us, we are hearing it from the media that places your life in danger. Because he can never speak the truth. He can never speak the truth. These people are allergic to truth. They are only pregnant for anything evil, treacherous. Those are the only thing that they produce. You hear him, you heard him, that the people are no longer depending on them as a government to fight the security challenges, because they believe that someone is there fighting for them. Indeed, someone is there fighting for them. When you refuse to fight for them, that is incompetent. You have no competency to be in a leadership position. That is the reason why security challenges you could not tackle for more than a year. Eastern Security Network was created. They tackled it under 3 months. It means that you are incompetent. All the governors in the Southeast. That is to show you that anybody that is placed in any position in Nigeria, they are incompetent. You will find a marine engineer being placed in the airport to service the plane. They will be placed in the airport to service the plane just because of nepotism. You will find a cardiologist. They will be placed in the clinics to be the GP there. Or you will find a GP, they will be placed where that a specialist is needed. They will be placed to be the specialist. That is how it is. There is no competency in the position, in the occupants of those positions that is most sensitive in Nigeria. There is no competency there. The security challenges you could not tackle for more than a year. Eastern Security Network came and they tackled the problem within 3 months, and the herders and the farmers were no longer clashing in the east. On the southeast, are you not incompetent?
And we no longer will tolerate that.
You referenced the youth earlier, and even now that you have spoken, and it's a little bit fuddling, Your Excellency, that while these things are going, as you said earlier, all these killer herdsmen and all those things, they aren't as strong anymore as these other issues that are from within the Southeast itself. It only begs one question as to how significantly, how strongly, how persuasively the leadership, the elite, the political class in the Southeast are carrying the people along in order for them to have a unity of purpose.
I don't understand what you're exactly driving at.
Okay, the point I'm trying to make, Your Excellency, the point I'm trying to make is, generally, much of the insecurity that is going on now, from what you have said, they are happening from within the Southeast by members of the Southeast. So I'm just wondering if there is anything the political class is doing, the elite in the Southeast is doing, to ensure a carry along such that we all, everyone, can sheath their swords and work for the peace and progress of the Southeast and Nigeria in general.
Yeah, about 2 months back, we had very extensive meeting, with our larger stakeholders in Southeast and with Ohanaeze, and we asked Ohanaeze to drive, a number of committees, committee on security, committee on marginalization, committee on industrialization, committee on youth development, and they did. Just yesterday, they submitted their report to us, which we're going to escalate to our stakeholders to study, and then we now come up with, means and ways to implement them. But don't forget that the NSAS gave us also the opportunities in Southeast, and we have organized a number of our youths, in conferences, and then we have set up a number of empowerment programs, for the youths. On the issue of carrying the people along, we started our governors' meeting in Southeast, with calling the stakeholders to join us. I think of 8 other regions have emulated that. So we don't to carry everybody along, and the clergy important people in this project, because our people tend to believe them, when they mount the pulpits and talk to the people. So we've been carrying them along. But we are also talking to them that, let people set aside, personal differences, set aside, bitterness, if there are bitterness against the federal government, against the governors, against, one another, because these are part of what, is influencing, negative comments against, the governors or the federal government. These are the issues.
Well, definitely very big issues, because you also recall an interview conducted with Senator Baribe, which some of them made the headlines this morning.
You will pardon me for this long video. I don't like to cut anything they say because we always catch them out in anything they said. That is the reason why I like to play the video till they make their submission, because we get our prima facie from every word they utter. So please bear with me and pay attention. Thank you.
That there are more than 30 separatist groups in the Southeast. Do you agree with him?
Well, he's talking from the point of his information, but, as a governor, I don't see that. Yes, the separatist groups, we know of IPOB, we know of, MAZOP, but MAZOP, has never been violent, for sure. And they're approachable and they tend to reason with us. But these other people, the IPOB, their command is never in the country. And every one of them stays out and then dishes out messages of bitterness and messages of threat and fear and killing.
Thank you. Everybody stays outside and bring messages of bitterness. Messages of bitterness is what everybody on the outside is bringing in. That is the reason why there is insecurity in Nigeria, according to Dave Umahi. Dave Umahi, let me tell you something. The bitterness that you see that they are speaking is the same bitterness that they have in heart. Is the same bitterness and regret they have in heart, ever knowing country called Nigeria. That same bitterness is the same bitterness that is making people denouncing their citizenship of Nigeria. That is the same bitterness. The bitterness that some of them sold even the last plot of the land they have or their inheritance just to go to abroad to look for a greener pasture. And so many of them are suffering on the street of Europe. So many of them are suffering on the street of United States. So many of them are suffering on the street of India. So many of them are suffering on the street of Dubai. This is the bitterness, Hope Uzodimma. Because when you talk about a sickness, you talk about what brings the sickness. That is very, very important. So this is what brought about this bitterness that you see people talking about. So many of them, their family members died. They could not come home because they are illegal in the country where they reside. They cannot come home to bury their parents because some of them are illegal in this country they reside. Their parents die. They cannot come to bid them good, say goodbye or see their parents for the last time or pay the last respect. They could not do it. They could not achieve it. They are suffering. That so many of them, even when they are behaving like those people you call mad people. You know, when people smoke hard drugs in Nigeria and they will be called mad people because there is no mental asylum that is up and running to discover who is mad and who need rehabilitation. It is not in existence in Nigeria. Anybody that is not wearing the back of his clothes is a mad person in Nigeria. And they only deserve to be all over the place. So that is the bitterness. So many of them are subjected to that ill treatment, even in abroad, because you say they went to seek for a greener pasture. But today they are there and can never find a greener pasture, cannot even come home. You could see that during the time of xenophobic attack in South Africa, Ellen Onyema produced a plane. That plane did not even take the quarter of the people who were willing to leave that country. The government did not come to the party. It is an individual who felt the pain. He is a Biafran. Even though his language is changing as if he's a politician as well, as a politician as well. So, but that is by the way. So, this is the bitterness that is making people to say that is making people to see your criminality. Do you know the reason why the slave that was bought from Africa developed America to the greatest? Because people who are oppressed, they always think of a way out. They always think of their consciousness is always awake, reminding them, telling them, that is those who are oppressed. That's how they reason. That's how they think. Those you oppressing in Nigeria, they have not gone out to see how human being is treated under democracy. Those whom you have there that are sleeping and then dining on in their ignorance and waking up in their comfort zone. They have never seen. There is one saying that says, it is better that a mouth. It is better that a mouth, and this is the same proverb you use in Nigeria all the time. That is the same proverbs that you are using to make these people to remain in their comfort zone. Instead of a mouth that is eating to close, it is better than the one that has not started eating not to open. You use it to keep putting people in their comfort zone because it's a metaphor that you cannot analyze. So governor becomes a governor. It is better you keep being a governor because you are not used to being an ordinary person, generation to generation. So this is what is the pain, agony that people are undergoing in the Europe, in the developed country, in China. They see these things. So many of them are subjected to drug trafficking that so many of them died in Indonesia, China, in many countries in the world. They died. There is no one who is coming out of Nigeria who representing them. Knowing that you did not make anything available for them to make a living. When they go out there, they see that they do not have what it takes to achieve. They do not have what it takes to even make it in the place where they go to find a greener pasture. Just because you see few people who go to abroad, they come, they make a movie. People are watching as if it is all good there. It is never all good there. And the people who are there will understand what I am saying. It is never all good there. It's just that the people who are making it are representing every other person in abroad. That's what you see it as. That is the reason why when people rose up, both the ones suffering on the street of Europe, both the ones suffering on the street of America, both the ones suffering on the street of the whole world, and both the ones whom have made that greener pasture in that places, rose up to fight for everybody because they know they are right as a human being who live under democracy. And they know that there is no democracy, there is no freedom that permits you to say anything against bad governance. And that is what is going on, and that is what is happening. That is the reason why you see those agony. Dave Umahi. And keep sharing this video. Keep sharing the video. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. And we are direct. It is 20 minutes or 19 minutes on top of the hour, regardless of your places of domicile. So, let's continue to listen to the Almighty Dave Umahi.
They are not here with us to feel the pain. So, these are just the two groups I can talk about. But I fear that if IPOB does not fails to stop and call their people to order and to stop the threats and the killings and all the stuff, that other groups will rise up to counter it. But there's no way Southeast will be grounded. There's no way Southeast will be sitting at home while other part of the country, will be doing businesses. And whereas we are the people that should actually be moving, because we earn our living by moving.
They are running away from their shadow. They are running away from their shadow. You see, whenever they are making their statement or sentiment or whatever they are, or their lies, they will not ever bring up the actual problem that is making that problem. Okay, they will never ever present to you the reason why there is a problem. They will always, like, you see where Tupac say that you can never, they only see the trouble, they never see the struggle. That is what these people keep doing. They will never show you the struggle, they keep showing you the trouble. That is what he is doing. They will always paint you as a culprit and them as a victim all the time. But that is the reason why we are here, to say enough is enough. This night, I am going to tell you that if war has to break out in Biafra land or in Nigeria, I am going to tell you the fate of that war, what it is going to be like. So that some of you who believe that what happened in 1967 will happen in 2021 again, it will not be like that war that you saw there. It will not be like that war you saw in 1967. I will tell you the reason. Just pay attention for now and share this video to the next person to understand it.
So how is it that those persons who you described as maybe fifth columnists, how are the people listening to them and not listening to the elected officials?
I love this dude, man.
Well, you've listened to their messages, and the messages that they dish out, they are not the kind of things that elected governors will implement. No elected governor, we come and say, this set of people for so reason, they must leave. There are good people everywhere, there are bad people everywhere. And so when you play on the side of the people, when you play on the issue of marginalization, the people tend to, agree with them. They tend to, believe in them. But most people that are informed, like all our people in the North, they are not in support of them. All our people in the West, they are not in support of them. They may have issues of saying, look, we should be treated equally. We should be given opportunities like other regions. But to ask us to start killing ourselves.
Can you imagine what it is? That is the reason why they don't have a competency. They do not have competency of being a politician. They do not have a competency of anything. That is the reason why this man is telling you that the ones that are listening to you, those ones that are listening to you, let me just play this again so that you will get the picture.
Listening to them and not listening to the elected officials. We can't understand it.
Well, you've listened to their messages, and the messages that they dish out, they are not the kind of things that elected governors will implement. No elected governor, we come and say, this set of people for so reason, they must leave Southeast. That everywhere. And so when you play on the side of the people, when you play on the
when you play on the side of the people, he believed that IPOB is playing on the side of the people, but they have almost 50 million followers. So IPOB is playing on the side of these people, and they are not realizing it. How many million are you in Biafra land in general? You say IPOB is playing on the side of the people. That is the reason why the people that voted you in, if you say they voted you in, they cannot even pay attention to you. They cannot even bow at your command anymore because you don't have the competency. And the people who has the competency are rising up to teach you how to do your work if your ego and your ignorance will allow you. But you cannot, because you are Fulani Mieti Allah slave. You are their slave. That is the reason why the people you claim that voted you in are not listening to you, are not even adhering to any of your command, because you have led them into the dish. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu rose up to lead them out of the dish. That is the reason why you are insecure, you are jealous, and you decide to dehumanize him the way you are doing. You will never ever receive the sympathy of the people anymore, except those janjaweed that you give 500 or 1,000. Those are the only sympathy that you will be buying your sympathies. All you leaders in the Southeast, there will be in fact, you have already started buying your sympathies. Time shall come when you will only be flying on the air only, because revolution, when people begin to wake up, if you cannot control it, you will explode. That is the reason why you find people in America going rampage on the street of America. If you are not able to control your consciousness awoken, you will lose it. That is the reason why people have woken up, that all these germs that they are receiving from drinking your water, the water you never made available for them, and they are dying, that it is indeed correctable. They never knew that a government can bring good water without them going to the stream every day, digging a hole everywhere, digging maybe 1,000 or digging maybe 200 feet hole on the ground, and they are drinking the water from it. Not even a borehole. Because they don't have a choice. Many of them, they don't even have filter to filter the water. They're just drinking it like that. So that is how people feel. And that is what you have subjected them to feel. Every action that you see from the people were your own doing. Let me finalize you. I'm going to leave you here because I have very important thing to do.
Issue of marginalization, the people tend to, agree with them. They tend to, believe in them. But most people that are informed, like all our people in the North, they are not in support of them. All our people in the West, they are not in support of them. They may have issues of saying, look, we should be treated equally. We should be given opportunities like other regions. But to ask us to start killing ourselves or start killing our visitors, start killing those who have been with us for a very long time, they are not in support of that. The majority of our people are not in support of that. But criminality is criminality, and a criminal is.
Where are those majorities? Where are those majorities? We saw them in Imo State the day your imposter landed in Imo State. We saw those majority. We saw those majority there. Those majorities are the ones who are coming out on the day of sit at home, as the whole world are able to see them. I am going to drop him here. But I don't. But let's just roll it a little bit more.
Criminal, always looking for opportunity, and this is the fact. And why it tends to be as if they have support is because the only way bad will continue to thrive when good people keep quiet. Why are the good people keeping quiet? Because they're afraid of isolated killings, because they don't have the police, the security people staying in their houses. And so if they talk and talk publicly, these evil people will go and isolate them and kill them. And that's why it appears that you don't have a lot of voices condemning what they're doing.
So that then suggests that there's a
government strategy,
failing or loophole on the part of the police authorities.
These are their
the governors, because governors are chief security officers of the state
immediately
to secure the lives of those people. So if that were the case, that's a big challenge that the governors and security and police have to address, isn't that?
To speak for them.
You see,
are you getting the point now?
Information is very powerful.
I hope you are getting it.
And when you want to solve a problem, you don't create another one. For example, when this thing started happening in Imo State, and the governor of Imo State, Governor Hope, rose up to the challenges. It happened in Ebonyi State. I rose up to the challenges. It's the same people that started shouting, and they labeled them unknown gunmen. People even suggested they were reported from us. I said, no, we are chief security officers, in our various states, and we understand what is happening. We know that it's our people that are killing our people. And they started killing, security men. They started burning houses. They started, stopping people from moving freely. And we started shouting. And they say, oh, we are importing security men to kill. And again, these policemen we are talking about, these people were killed in their duty post. These people were killed in their police, offices and their police post, police offices burned, and they got.
You are talking about policemen and the police women who were killed, and you are blaming all those atrocities to IPOB. But you never realized that in Lekki Toll Gate, almost 150 million people was protesting on that same day of Lekki Toll Gate bloodbath. Do you know that 150 million women, men, children were protesting in Nigeria the same day that you created a bloodbath in Lekki Toll Gate by bringing the Fulani Army of Conquest security agencies to go and open fire on these people? I don't know if you guys are getting the point or you are not getting the point. Blame it on IPOB no matter how much you want. You will never break IPOB because this IPOB is rooted in the rock. The foundation is rooted in the rock, not on the soil like you people, the political elite. You will never break IPOB. You will never. Because IPOB stands for truth. IPOB stands for equity. IPOB stands for fairness. IPOB stands against anything that will put the life of any common man in danger. IPOB stand to defend its land. IPOB stand to defend his people. Because you guys have been going to war against the people. And they are keeping their hands, folding their arms, dying. Immediately when they start waking up, you label them a terrorist. You are forgetting that it is people's family that you opened fire in Lekki Tollgate and killed. When you throw a stone inside a market, you do not know who is going to be the victim. When they raise police station today, when people from Lekki Tollgate, when people from the families of people from Lekki Tollgate who died like dogs, when they start taking their revenge on your police, plus the ones that your DSS are doing with the support of you political elite, just to make sure IPOB is declared terrorist. But the whole world, they are very wiser than you.